Hello. My name is Benjamin Z. Miller, and in this video, we're going to talk about in multifamily investing, gain to lease, and loss to lease. These are key metrics for evaluating rental income potential in multifamily investing, and we're going to talk about them in this video. Okay, fantastic. First, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this video. So in multifamily real estate investing, understanding the rental income potential of a property is crucial to making informed investment decisions. Two critical metrics used to assess rental income potential are gain to lease and loss to lease. These metrics help investors evaluate the current rent levels in a property compared to the market rates, providing insights into the property's revenue generating potential. In this, we're going to discuss the concepts of gain to lease and loss to lease, their calculation and their importance in multifamily investing. So gain to lease. Gain to lease is the difference between the current market rent for a unit, so whatever the current market rent is for a unit, and the rent being paid by the current tenant. A positive gain to lease if you see a positive gain to lease, this indicates that the current rent is below the market rate and there is potential to increase rental income when the lease is up for renewal or when a new tenant occupies the unit. So let's take an example. You're going to calculate gain to lease. You're going to look at what's the market rent, and then you're going to subtract the actual rent that's obtained. Let's talk about loss to lease. Well, it's just the opposite of gain to lease. It represents the difference between the rent being paid by the current tenant and the current market rent for a tenant. A positive loss to lease indicates that the current rent is above the market rate, suggesting that the rental income might decrease when the lease is up for renewal or when a new tenant occupies the property. So for loss to lease, you take the actual rent being received and you subtract it from the market rent. So the importance of gain to lease and loss to lease, they are essential metrics for multifamily investors as they provide insights into the property's rental income potential, and they help identify opportunities to optimize rental rates. Some of the key benefits of analyzing gain to lease and loss to lease include you can assess the rental income potential by comparing the current rent levels to the market rates. Gain to lease and loss to lease, they provide insights into whether a property's rental income is optimized or if there is room for improvement. They also help with identifying opportunities for rent increases. A positive gain to lease signifies that there is potential to increase rental income by raising the rent to market rates when the lease is up for renewal or when a new tenant occupies the unit. They help with evaluating the risk of rent decreases. A positive loss to lease indicates a risk that rental income might decrease when the lease is up for renewal or when a new tenant comes in and they're going to occupy the unit as the current rent is above the market rate. So when comparing investment opportunities, you can use gain to lease and loss to lease. They can be used to compare different multifamily investing opportunities by evaluating the rental income potential of each property and then identifying properties with the most significant potential for rent growth. So suppose a multifamily property, just imagine a multifamily property has a current tenant that is paying $1,000 per month for their unit, while the current market rent for a similar unit in that same area is $1,200 per month. In this case, the gain to lease would be market rent minus actual rent. Well, the market rent's $1,200, the tenant's paying $1,000, so the gain to lease when you subtract them is $200. This positive gain to lease of $200 indicates that there is potential to increase rental income by raising the rent to the market rate when the lease is up for renewal or when a new tenant occupies the unit. Now let's assume another tenant in the same property is paying $1,300 per month for their unit, while the current market rent is $1,200. In this case, you have a loss to lease because you take the actual rent of $1,300 and you subtract it from the market rent of $1,200, and that is a loss to lease of $100. My group, the Benjamin Z. Miller Investor Networking Group, we meet every Sunday on Zoom. I created the group for new and experienced investors to network and make more contacts. If you would like to learn more about multifamily investing, you should join the Benjamin Z. Miller Investor Networking Group. If that sounds interesting, contact my office by going to www.benjaminzmiller.com and just fill out the contact form. We love to hear from people. Or go to linkedin.com and look for Benjamin Z. Miller, and you can find the webinar there. You can register for it there. Or go to meetup.com and look for Benjamin Z. Miller. I hope that helps, and good luck with your investing.